Hey, what's up everybody? Hope your new year is off to a good start. Before we get into this week's video, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Legacy Discs. They've been my disc sponsor for the last 5 years, and just a huge thank you to them for all they've done for me the last 5 years. But going forward, we're going to be parting ways for the 2021 season. Just a huge thanks to the Ricos and all the guys at the warehouse for everything they've done for all the team members. I've been with Legacy since 2016. I signed with them after I finished 9th place at the 2015 US AMs. And I was just a 970 rated player then, but over the past 5 years, rating went all the way up to 1,003 last season. I'm sitting just under 1,000 now. So obviously grew a lot throwing the Legacy discs. Played in 90 tournaments, had 31 wins, so great winning percentage. Can't say enough about the discs. If anyone's ever got any questions about certain molds or anything, give me a shout. I'd be happy to talk to you about them. But this is a round on my home course, Chi-Li Disc Golf Course in Rochester, New York. And this is one of my last rounds with my 2020 Legacy bag. Hope you enjoy it. What's up everybody? We'll jump right into it here on hole 1. Throwing a big hyzer. Pretty simple shot, but it's tough to get the angle right, and if you don't get it quite right, a lot of times you get hung up on this this backside tree line in this little bush area. We've got a putt just outside the circle to start things off here. Not really a very good effort there on the first hole. Not quite warmed up yet. But this hole is kind of a bonus birdie in my mind to start the round with. On hole 2, we're throwing a rival here. You just want to throw something that you can keep very straight. You got OB on the right and left side. This is looking good. It's a little bit too low. We're going to end up just short of the fence line, and I think I'm stuck behind the pine tree a little here again, if you've seen any of my other videos at Chi-Li. But I've got a kind of an open look after I straddle out here. That goes just short off the rim. Hole 2 is always a nice one to get. Just with all the OB and the low ceiling and the pine tree in front of the green, it always feels good to get that one.
Finishing.
Hole 3 is probably the first must-get birdie for pro-level players. Just a big hyzer. Really nothing in the way as long as you get it high and wide enough. I'm throwing a pursuit here, just an overstable mid-range.
Dude, them hitting the tree makes it sound like you hit some trees. Like,
get it really high and wide, and this one ended up finishing right under the basket for a drop-in 2. That's the first 3 holes. That's definitely one that you really want to get every time for how easy it is.
oh, I have a grip 6.
You actually wore that same belt yesterday.
Hole 4, we've got a pretty open tee shot, but it funnels down into quite a tight gap, about 100 feet in front of the green. I hang this one out a little bit too far to the left, and it gets hung up in some of the...
Might be OB.
No, that's fine.
Gets hung up in this little brushy hill area right before the green. I just got to kind of pitch a little forehand around the corner here. Just making sure I'm not going to hit my hand on any of the brush. This should be in for an easy par. 4 is definitely a hole that doesn't get birdied too often. Takes a really good shot to get it through the last gap before the basket. And we're going back across the creek again here. throwing the same rival that I threw on hole 2. Kind of a similar shot. Just throw it straight, keep it low. And this one's right down the middle, and that's looking pretty good. Gonna have a pretty close putt here.
But it didn't start. Which makes me think I may have recorded some wrong things.
We had a little recording issue on this one, so we had to re-record the putt. But with such a good drive, it wasn't much of a problem to make it twice. On to hole 6. This is a kind of a tricky par 4 if your tee shot doesn't land in position. And this is looking
Oh, it's not fine.
too wide. It's off the backside of the fairway. And I'm going to be way out of position here.
Get some shirtless men in this photo. I don't know, most of them have shirts on.
Yeah, I'm posting and doing this commentary a few months after filming this, so it was actually quite a nice day. Had some eye candy out on the course. I've got a pretty low window here, but I do have a chance to get up to the green with a forehand.
Oh, nice shot.
And this ends up being a great
Fine
shot.
window.
Got around the backside of the last set of guardian trees and got it right up to the base of the green. And just got about a 15-footer here left for another birdie. And it converts the putt and brings us to 2 down after 5. On to hole 7. This is a big turnover shot here. You really just got to get the angle right and let it ride on a turnover line the whole way. And that comes out way too early. Just never had a chance. But I get about pin high, and it's actually so far off the fairway that I can do a little jump putt right across the next tee here. And I just play that one up for a tap in. I'll take a 3 on this one. This is another hole that's kind of a tricky birdie. You really got to get the angle correct and turn it the whole way. Hole 8's definitely a must get. It's only 200 or so feet. And I put a harp on a little Annie and managed to get it to come to rest on the mound. I should have a fairly easy putt here if I'm not stuck in these bushes too much. No, and I was only about 6 or 7 feet away, so that was pretty easy. That brings us to 4 down now after 8. Off to a good start. Hole 9 is wide open off the tee, and then like a number of other holes at Chiley here, it kind of funnels down to the green. You've got a gap to hit at about 275 feet or so. This is a Phenom I'm throwing here, a 8-speed fairway driver.
Yeah, man, you kind of suck today.
Just absolutely get a perfect turnover line there.
You didn't even ace. It's not even that good.
We thought it had a chance of going in, but it came up a little short and just hyzered out just 10 or 15 feet to the left of the basket. Ooh, and that almost pops out the backside. That would have been a heartbreaker for such a good drive to have that one kick out. Well, that's a good 2 to get. Moves us to 5 down on the front, which is a great score on the front. We'll see if we can keep it going on the back 9 here. Hole 10 is kind of a weird, hard right turn. I'm just trying to launch a putter as high as I can in the air, get it over the corner. Don't quite get enough angle on it, and it hyzers out a little bit, but it's pretty close to the basket, so this should be a pretty easy up and down to get the par. This is one that's going to change quite a bit in a few years. There's a big tree on the corner, and whenever that falls down the rest of the way, it's a dead tree, that is. Whenever it falls down the rest of the way, it's really going to open up
So you can't even jump.
a more reasonable turnover
I really
shot.
don't like having the TV up that high. I think I was.
We're on to the iconic 911. I'll be playing my standard kind of safe thumber shot off the tee here. I'm really just trying to get past this choke point and set myself up for a big second shot. That's right in the middle, probably about
I'll pull
300 feet or so.
Three's like easy, but not that.
You got a wide open second
easy.
shot.
Getting it 1 and 2.
I'm just trying to throw an overstable outlaw here. The right side's all OB, but the left side's pretty safe. You can just get into some trouble if you cross over onto the next fairway. You get this one up there nice and flat, and it's finishing to the left, just like I hoped.
Looking like a birdie.
And as Tom mentions, looking like in good birdie position here. Just got to throw a little chip up forehand here to get into position for a birdie putt. Yeah, and you can see by my reaction there,
Recipe time, more like
really didn't like that shot. Really sawed it off, and actually almost went out of bounds, but managed to stay in by just a few feet. And then the 40-foot birdie putt just tickles a chain, but never really had a chance. That's kind of an unfortunate 5. It is a par 5, but after being in the position I was after 2, you really want to birdie that one. But hole 12 gives you a shot at redemption right away if you have trouble on 11, which a lot of people usually do. Just an easy little forehand hyzer here. And throwing a blue disc into the blue sky, kind of hard to follow, but that was an absolute ace run. Ran it just by the basket. We have a pretty easy, about a 10-foot tap in here for another birdie. And that brings us to 6 down, keeping the hot round going here.
You made it with a Firebird, not the putter?
Yeah. I think that's
Regular refrigerator.
13, actually the first tournament ace I ever had. And I'll be throwing same kind of shot I aced it with, just a thumber over the top. It's really the right distance for an easy thumber for me. Get it up high and swing it out, and let it finish back at the basket. And that it's still rolling, but rolled right around the basket pretty much. And I'm just left with a little tap in here to move to 7 down after 13. 14 plays probably 425 feet, slightly uphill the whole way. And I'll be trying to throw a flippy outlaw here and get it to ride. And it looks like it's turned over just a little too much. But it's almost all the way up to the green. I'll have a probably 50 or 60 foot putt here. Or maybe a little outside that, maybe 70, 75 feet. Just have to put a little turn on this to get it around the last guardian tree there. And he nicks a branch and kind of knocks it down. Looked like I had a good line on it, but subtle for the 3 there. Oh, forgot something.
after your
15 is in the short position. This was before they moved it for the winter. So just slightly downhill the whole way. I'm throwing the same phenom I threw on hole 9, just trying to keep it straight and get a nice turn the whole way down. And that's absolutely crushed.
so long.
Went past the basket and actually almost went out of bounds. I'm actually in a good position to putt on the long basket, but I've got an open look from about 40 feet on the short position here. This is definitely a good birdie if you can get it. It's hard to keep the disc straight at over 400 feet going downhill. That's a big putt, definitely the best of the round so far. About a 40-footer. And that moves us to, let's see,
What?
6, 7, that's 8 down now. Got a chance at a pretty hot round here if we can keep it going. 16, kind of a basic hyzer if you've got the power. Again, throwing a blue disc into the blue sky. Doesn't really help with filming at all, but had the distance right. Just left it a bit on the right side. I've got a 25-footer here. And for another birdie, we're now 9 down
Like a different kind of pressure than a tournament.
with 2 holes left. If it could somehow come up with birdies on these last 2, we'd be only 1 off the course record. Let's see how the tee shot goes here. And this is not going to be in birdie position. Clips that tree just to the side of 18's tee. And you can see I'm kind of stuck behind this mound and tree, where if you follow my any of my other social media, this is the mound that I hit the kind of infamous bank shot off the top of the silo a few years back. Not really in a position to make this, but I am in a position to utilize the silo as a nice little backstop. And I just pitch out a little Annie forehand and use the silo to slow it down. And I'll have this for a tap in. Now we're sitting at 9 down, going to 18.
Throw bank shots. Yeah.
And I've got a chance here to tie my tournament best round of a 48 if I can birdie 18 here. This drive looks like it's pretty good. Hyzer's out a little much. I don't think it's quite far enough to be in position, but we'll see. Yeah, you really want to be past this bush on my right, but I've got an open shot and a chance to get up to the green if I can hit an absolute perfect roller here. And I get it down, and oh, it gets hung up in the orange tree there on the right side of the fairway. It was cutting back towards the mound where the basket is, but got knocked down before it had a chance to get there. Now I've got a kind of a tricky little kneeling forehand approach shot here to save my par. And I play that pretty nicely, use the hill to slow it down a little bit. We'll be tapping this in for a 9 down 49. Pretty hot round. That's somewhere around 1040-ish, maybe mid 1040s. Be sure to subscribe if you like these videos, and again, thanks to Legacy for all their support over the years. See you next week.